Hope you all are doing well and safe at home. This is Untroubled Tech. So let's start the topic. So today's topic is insulin. So let's Diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is mainly a chronic disorder which is due to the increased blood glucose, and this may arises due to the two conditions: by inadequate production of insulin and may due to the resistance of a body cells to the action of insulin. So insulin is mainly a peptide hormone, and in normal person there is a normal blood glucose level, and to maintain this normal blood glucose level, our pancreas acts on glucose and converts it into the various forms. Now, when there is a high blood glucose after eating, this pancreas will stimulate beta cells, which in turn releases insulin, and this insulin will act upon the liver and which convert glucose into the glycogen. This insulin is also act on the skeletal muscles for other metabolic activities. This insulin will take up by the cells and also produces ATP, which is a energy form. Now, when there is a blood glucose level drops, this pancreas will stimulate alpha cells, and this alpha cells will stimulate glucagon, which is a peptide hormone and which will act on the liver to produce glycogen, which converts glycogen into the glucose. There are two types of diabetes mellitus: type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is also known as insulin dependent diabetes, and type 2 diabetes is also known as non-insulin dependent diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, here what happens, this pancreas will stimulate beta cells and which in turn releases insulin, but the insulin receptors, this insulin is inadequate, so the cells over here are destroyed, so they do not take up the insulin and do not act so far. So this insulin producing cells are destroyed and thus limiting insulin production. So the insulin is administered from the outside to compensate the cells which are destroyed in the insulin receptors. Now, in type 2 diabetes, the pancreas will stimulate insulin from the beta cells, and this insulin is mainly resistance. The insulin produced is adequate, but the insulin receptors is resistant to the insulin, and gradually there is an insulin deficiency. So let's see how insulin is produced and prepared and their analogs. So mainly insulin has 2 amino acid chain, which is 30 amino acid chain and 21 amino acid chain. So mainly it is prepared by two methods, that is recombinant DNA technology using bacteria and yeast. Then amino acid sequence of a human insulin is mainly altered to produce insulin analogs with the onset and the duration of actions. Now, why the question arises, why insulin is administered subcutaneously? So the answer is that insulin is mainly causes degradation in the GI tract. In order to be very effective, it is typically administered by subcutaneous injections. Now let's see the types of insulin. So the types of insulin is, there are mainly 5 types of insulin. That is, first one is ultra short and rapid acting insulin. Ultra short mainly consists of Lispro, Aspart and Glulicin. The onset of action is the how long it will take to act on the body, and duration of action, how long it will be on the body, it will act on the body. Okay, so the duration of action is 3 to 5 hours and onset of action is 30 to 30 minutes. Okay, it will mainly take 15 to 30 minutes. Now, short acting insulin consists of regular soluble insulin and semi-lenti. Here the onset of action is 30 to 1 hour and duration of action is 5 to 8 hours. Now, how they act so rapid. These analogs have the ability to act quickly. What happens here? So the mechanism is, mainly the insulin molecule is a hexamer which likes to stick together forming hexamers. So the insulin is a 6 molecule bond together. This insulin is very large to cross the subcutaneous tissues, so they must be broken down into the single insulin molecule before the absorption can occur from the subcutaneous tissues. So by altering the amino acid sequence and by breaking it into a single molecule of a insulin, it can be made easy for the absorption to occur into the bloodstreams. So by altering the amino acid sequence, it is make them lightly to aggregate, which results in an analogous with the faster absorptions. Now another form of insulin is intermediate, which consists of neutral protamine hydron or isophane insulin. Isophane insulin is mainly a human insulin. By altering the human analogs or human amino acid, it is prepared. So the onset of action of isophane insulin is 1 to 2 hours. Duration of action is 20 to 24 hours. It takes a very long time, and also the duration of action is very long. Now what is the reason behind it, how it will act so long? So the long lasting effect is mainly comprised by the addition of zinc and protamine. In the regular insulin, there is a addition of zinc and the protamine, which makes it a less soluble, and the outcome is that there is a delayed absorption and longer duration of actions. So by mixing zinc and protamine, it is made less soluble, and which in result delayed absorption is occur. So it is a intermediate, and there is a duration of action is very long. Now there is another group of insulin, which is a long acting insulin and ultra long acting insulin. Long acting insulin mainly consists of detemir, which shows the peak effect. It has a very peak effect, it shows a very long duration of actions. Now glargine is also another group of drug which comes under long acting insulin. There is a onset of action is 2 to 4 hours, and duration of action is 20 to 24 hours. Now, ultra long acting insulin consists of degludec and ultralenti. Degludec, the onset of action is 30 to 90 minutes, and duration of action is 24 to 40 hours. Now, onset of action for ultralenti is 6 hours, and duration of action is 20 to 36 hours. Now, what are the various indications when these insulins are used, when these ultra short rapid acting insulins are used? So the first indication is type 1, type 2 diabetes mellitus, which is a insulin dependent and non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. There may be a gestational diabetes, there may be a diabetes ketoacidosis, there may be a hyperosmolar or non-keto diabetic coma. Now, what are the devices which are used to administer the diabetic patient, or what are the devices which is used to administer insulin subcutaneously, inhaled or oral? Okay, so the delivery devices are insulin syringe, insulin pump, implantable insulin pump, inhaled insulin, oral insulin, pen device. So that's all for today. If you like my video, please do share, subscribe and like. Thank you.